Right. Onegaishimasu. Very good. Okay, let's just loosen up a little bit. Just want to put up thumbs. Swing in front and back. A bit to the side. To rotation. Means that open close. Just mix in free directions a little bit. And reach it up, take a nice deep breath in. And in your down extension, breath out. Breathing it through the spine. And last one. And just kind of just stopping at the knees, a little bit of a hinge through the hip, and taking a little bit of cat-cow extension through the upper spine. And just head into a flexible pattern. Think about pulling the head up to the ceiling. And take it to the head, just circling one way, nice and gently. Change in direction. Enhance the head, a little bit of pressure forwards, pressure back, lengthen through the back of the neck. Just the hands up underneath the chin. Pressure out. Just gradually increase it. Take to the sides. And down the opposite hand. Change. Just open the shoulders a little bit, just pull them to the top, make a fist, and then just go over releasing them forward. Pull them back up to the top, tension up at the top, and then pulling them out to the back. Spread the hands to the back, spread the shoulders, pull them back up to the top, and then just let them down. Just one more time, pull them up. Roll them up to the front. To the top. Release to the back. And pulling up. Releasing down to the side. Just roll them up a little bit to the back. Forwards. Bring the hands up the top of the shoulder, circling the elbows. And forwards. Out, circling, small circles out. Down to the back. Shoulder to one arm over and the other. And then forwards. So looking out to the side a little bit. Bring the arms up to the top, bring the palms together, and then just press that to the back. A little bit of squeeze at the top, hands together, and then release it. Great, taking the hands up and taking 2 rotations. You're reaching up and over the sides, use the opposite hand a little bit. Pressure out to the other side, keeping the feet down. Just mixing both sides. Next, so just allow it to release, so reach up and open, and then allow that opposite foot to just come out of the ground. Feel the body sway over to that leg, and then gently draw it back. Just let the body weight rock over that front leg. So gently draw it back. And when you're back, just take it to the hip circles. And the other way. And keep the feet separated, pulsing through the knees. Bring the feet together, circling one way. Change. Open up the hip one side, through one leg. Change. And take the leg back. So back toes facing forward. Then press the heel down to the ground. Shift it over to the other side. Shift over, bring that back heel off, and just sink it down a little bit further. Keep the weight even. Keep the body straight. Switch that leg. Back, feet heels together. Bring the knees down. Hinge the legs together. The bottom. Use the hands when you need to. Use them on the knees. Use them on the ground. Keep the back nice and long. And just put a little bit of pressure out. So gentle pressure out with the arms. And you can also put a little bit of pressure back in with the legs. So it's in the groin and the hip. And just take one leg out. Bring the toes up. Bring that one back. Take the other one out. Bring the hands down, lengthen through both legs. Starting with the hands level with the chest. First one, let's take the hands off, bring the elbows, touch the elbows with the hands, and just bring them up the head. We'll point the head towards the ground, lengthen through the position. If it feels okay in balance, just taking the hands around the back, clasp them together, drop through the shoulders. Draw the hands up over the back. Slowly release it wherever you are, bring the hands back down. Walk them forward a touch, keep the hips going back. Roll the ears towards the shoulders. Lengthen the hips and the hands away from each other. And draw the hands back level with the chest. Walk the feet towards each other. Together. And let's take it into a gentle forward fold. And bending the knees. Take it up to standing nice and slowly. Good. Just going to the wrist slow, but keeping the arms touch the body, holding one wrist over the other. Direction. Squeezing the palms together. It's the back of the wrist. A bit of a pulse. At the same side, take it to the back of the wrist into a 𝘭𝘪𝘏𝑗𝑖, turning the thumb out. Taking the back of the hand, rotating the wrist out. Take the fingers, draw them back towards the body. Out a little bit. Take it into the side. We'll start with the 𝘭𝘠. Pulse. So 𝘭𝘪𝘏𝑗𝑖. Taking back and verse 𝑆ankyo. Taking the fingers, drawing the arm back towards the body. And just take it into the fingers, just one at a time. A little bit of pressure back towards the weight of the hand. And to the other side. Gently join the thumb towards the forearm. And the other side. Bring the arms out. Extend out the fingertips. Draw the arms towards the body, forearms down, forearms towards the body, fingers going down. Try and keep that same pace. Release them away. Bring the arms out to the side, making fists. Think about drawing in the fist from the core of the body. So you release it. Just release them down, roll the wrist out a little bit, figure of eight. And take them up to the top, same thing, just squeezing them out. Again, think about drawing down from the core of the body. Make the fist release it. Release them down, so work again, a little bit figure of eight work. That's much looking the forearm, a little bit extension out. Just take a grip, pin the wrist a little bit, and then just play with mobilizing, extending the arm. Take a different position each time. Pin it, roll through it. Position. Work on the underside of the forearm, top side, side. Change to the other side. Pin and extend with the hand. Good, and shake them out the top. Slap the arms. And shake out the legs. Plant to the feet, shake out the whole body. And just take hands onto the center of the body. Just feel the pulse coming from that area. Start to settle in a little bit. You want to wait till the body settles against the ground. Just notice the breath as you're doing it. And release the arms back to the side. Great. Okay, take a bokken. Super. Good. We'll start nice and basic. Just start shoulder width. We'll just go through a nice gentle arc with the body. So obviously think about the shoulders releasing. Really think about the length of the spine. So really using this top position to create the length. And then just a little bit of a hip hinge, knee to release. And just very easily just passing the sword up and down through it. So a little bit of weight now in the front of the body and in the hands. And equalize it. Body just rests into the ground. And there's two ways you can work with this. If you can see your image on the screen, then you can work with that. Also, you can work with like a door frame or a corner of the wall. Just notice the tip of the sword and what you're looking to do. If you're looking for really a straight line 𝘱𝘭𝘠𝘢, you're just looking for a very clear line through. So using a door frame or using the view on the screen, just allow the sword to pass through. And again, just notice when it doesn't, notice when it kind of deviates, and you'll always get some level of deviation with it if you're really kind of observing with it. And the way to kind of get that center line is just, again, just look for bounce across the body. So it's not always, it's generally not always about the arms. It's just sometimes about the feet, sometimes about the knees, but just look for imbalances across the body basically. So it might be like weighting towards one side, might be the shoulder starting to pop out a little bit more. You might find the other thing is also like one hand starts to dominate, so could be the left hand, could be the right hand. But again, just look for the feedback in the exercises, whether you can just pass the sword through the center line clean, and also up through the center line as well. So big parts of the movement to the raise. So you got a very clear feedback. And then keep the same pattern, but think of it as one move now. So allow it to really release down to the ground. And then think of the raise and the cut as one motion. And then you're just looking out for as you do it, whether I can really pass the sword to the center line during that motion. So there's a tendency now to start to let it deviate, to do it slowly, but really feel that the touch to the back. And the cut's really just one motion itself. And the calmer the body, the more balanced it is, the more grounded. Easy it is to let the sword just pass through the center line. It's just getting a clear pathway from the sword. And that clarity again is going to come from the form of the body. Allowing the sword. And then a lot of the work is actually releasing things that I'm doing actually. So balancing over to one side or dominating with one hand. Just letting it release a little bit. Just one clean move now. Raise, cut. Very nice. Okay, take the right foot forward in this case. Don't draw the foot back in this case. Just reach up to the spine this one. Keep the foot down. I know it's kind of, because we're so used to doing it, it's quite an annoying one. Keep the foot down and just focus on sitting into the hip now. So what you're looking to do is like create a platform for the sword. So you're allowing the front hip just to set in, and then just think about the sword slotting into that position. So you could do this shoulder width, then if you find the hip work a little bit out or a little bit tricky, just go back to a kind of shoulder width with it. Just allow the hips kind of settle in. But then the key with this one, you're looking for that triangulation of the hip. And the feeling now is that the arm's just connecting through the back, and you're just setting the sword down into the body. So it's just to notice now where the arms kind of position themselves. So you sink into the gut. And again, just use that feedback a little bit of your frame or your own image. Just pass through the center line with it. So again, that's still the work, just to let the sword pass through the center line. Again, the tendency is to let one side start to dominate. Start to get kinks through the sword, through the pathway of the sword. Just follow the center line of this one. Good. And then start to bring the footwork into it. So you're drawing the foot back, finding the center line, and then drop into it. Add a little bit of focus now with it, but don't make it the priority. Again, you're just focusing on the hip work, footwork, the settling of the weight back, and then dropping into 50-50. Settling of the weight back, dropping into 50-50. And you're looking for the hips to go to platform for the sword arc just to slot in. A little bit of focus through the grip, but not too much. Good. Good. And again, as you're doing it, just go back to that idea of the center line. And again, just notice that it's very easy now to start to kink it. As I start to have the idea of power, start to kind of sword goes all over the place. So listen to the sword as it passes through. And again, up and down through the motion. And once you feel you're kind of hitting the center line each time or passing through the center line, just start to bring it to one motion. So you start to reach the back and just cut into it. Reach the back, cut into it. So as long as you've got a kind of consistent the center line. Start to bring it to a little bit more flexible pattern. Which really is one motion, so although we split it a lot with the suburi work. It should be a kind of raise and a drop. Yeah. Okay, we'll take it to a short form. So this is used a lot when we do partner practice, particularly in the early stages. And it's the same 𝘱𝘰𝘪𝘴 curve, just passing to the center line. But the footwork changes now, so it's press forward with the body rather than a kind of stay on the spot. So a little bit more of a practical curve, not entirely, but what there's two things. There's one, you're pressing the body forward, and the second, you don't reach the spine now. So the assumption is that I can pass the sword to the center line, so you forget that part of the movement now. So you just raise the sword up and cut down with it. The first thing, what I want you to try, just to focus on the body work and the feeling of pressing. Just cut through the center line again. So just allow the sword to go up and then just pass through the center line. The focus now is basically on the weight pressing forward through the motion. And the first thing is get everything moving together. So as soon as you want to raise the sword, think about the body pressing into it. Okay, so two ways you can play with this. But again, neither of them focus on the cut. You can focus on the raise through the motion, through this kind of feeling. Or you can focus just on the settling of the weight in the feet. So that really connected. But the first thing in this case is just to get the body shifting forward now. So different footwork pattern. All the pressure is going to come from that back leg and you're just going to press the body forward. Yes, the problem of going too early with this form into the cut is that you tend to kind of hold the body off. So something like this happens, the body is basically being pulled out of the ground. So focus on this case, whichever form you do, or actually just go to this one now, which is just slice to the ground with it. And you're just letting the whole body drain into the ground. So the test of this is whether I can get the upper body to just release onto the lower body. That means the lower body needs to be in place to kind of catch the body, because if it's not, the body gets kind of just pulled forward. Or if I don't commit to it, the body's kind of restrained back. So just look for a form in this case where you find the hips, find the feet, and you just let the upper body then drop into it. And then just allow the soul to drop through. And then again, you're looking for just the whole weight of the body to land into the feet, which isn't so easy actually. So we tend to be quite good at doing this with an outreach, like a push position. Not so good with a downwards motion. So just play with the next route. Just have the sword in the left hand, and just play with the push out. So it's that same feeling. You're pressure down, and you're just pressing out with this one. So work with a little bit of extension with the arms. It's just getting used to the arms being a little bit outstretched from the body, extended from. But again, keep the feeling down. So you want to, as you arrive, the weight's in the ground already. But again, you're just kind of releasing the upper body on top of the lower body. And sometimes come back to the sword with it. So you just want, again, you're starting to try and integrate the arm work into that feeling of weight. But again, it's that feeling that you're really plugged into the ground at the end of it. And then the feedback on the exercise actually just at the end. What happens to the body right at the end of it? Good. Awesome. And then go back to the feeling of, again, with a cut, but again, focus on the weight down. So all the power in the cut is actually going to come from the entry of the body into the ground. So play with it, slicing through, or in this case, starting to add a little bit of focus to it. But then listen to the feedback on it. And again, I'm trying to still pass through the center line with it. So it's a really strong center line cut. And a deviation off the 𝘱𝘰𝘢𝘪𝘐 line. Give yourself time at the end of the cut. So once you've finished it, just let the body settle and just feel where the body's kind of landing its way. And look as we plug into the ground, find strong extension out. And they're really linked up, so the more you plug in down, the more the extension is going to have a base to work with. Yeah. Right. We'll come back to this idea a little bit. Just take it into a Zengo. So you're looking front and back in this case. And yet the work in this case, two things working on the rotation through it, but also work on the left side cut. So again, just establishing a nice clean 𝘱𝘰𝘢𝘪𝘐 line through the left side. And then if you want to work with a wall, work with a corner of a door. Or if you want to set up so that you're rotating to the back, and you can see, if you can see yourself on the camera, you just have to pass the sort of the center line. Working on that rotation as well as you do it. just with, it just helps with explore a little bit of breath work with it. So the feeling with this through the rotations that you're kind of drawing the sword up with it, and the feeling's like kind of floating the sword up through the motion. So the main thing I want to avoid in this move is actually twisting the structure. So if I kind of push the arms up and rotate the body, then the body starts to kind of twist up. So it starts to go into these kind of awkward positions. And it's very difficult to kind of balance the body through those. So think as you go into this, take a nice deep breath with it, and think about really widening the shoulders to it. So, and what you look at, don't worry so much about mobilizing the tip of the weapon. Think about just rolling around the center line with it. And use a breath with it. It's just going to kind of open and expand the body. And you just want to have this sensation that you're kind of floating the sword up through it. So it's less of a kind of twisting breaks, and you're just starting to float the sword up. And again, it's going to come from the weight of the body finding the ground. And it feels like kind of dragging the sword over the center line. So you want something kind of heavy in the body, light in the sword. Sorry. Now, the other thing with this is trying to get the hips to engage through it. So use the out breath as you do it, and notice whether the hips kind of engaging through the out breath. So one tends to do something like the hips kind of fit, and then I just kind of work with the arm. So use the out breath in this case. You've got the in breath here. Now use the out breath to have a sense of, again, expansion through the body and mobilizing the hips through the motion. And the feeling's kind of you're dropping into the core of the body, the lower core of the body, and then you're extending, mobilizing through the hip. But then just notice as you do that out breath, and as you engage through the cut, whether the hips are mobilizing through it. Just using the breath just to kind of expand that motion a little bit. Good. We'll take to a little bit of ski work with it. So the ski works really, you can use it as a test of, again, the ability to ground the body, and then just press forward with it. So and you're going to root from the back leg after the cut, and then find the ski just to the front. And it's a sharper movement in this case, and it's just a pressure out this way. Find the back, so you're working left and right with it. Again, pressure comes from the back leg, release the ski out from the body. You're cutting clean 𝘱𝘰𝘪𝘐 line through, and then just pressure out and forward. Clean 𝘱𝘰𝘪𝘐 out. Pressure out forward, and again use the breath, particularly if you feel it's kind of cramped through the rotation. So you're just working with the ski now, alternating left side, right side. Good. Great. You're going to get, although we spend a lot of time, particularly in Suburi training, separating the cut from the thrust, they're really kind of one motion. So think about now the cut leading straight away into that thrust. So yeah, it's just the ability to keep the body grounded, working through the center line, and then just squeeze the ski out. You go to the back, think of this all as one motion, this to this. And then take your time with it, use the breath. Again, particularly if you feel it's kind of cramped in the body work, start to kind of open it out a little bit. It's basically done in one breath now, one motion. So it's the cut, find the rend, find the thrust out. So So you're using now that percussion from the strike just to feed straight into it. To the ski. Good. Good. And lastly, you can do this on both sides, just stick to the right side for it, but play with like a spring forward now. So the move we did before, in terms of this cut through, think again, creating a platform with that motion and taking it straight into the ski. So work with it two ways. You can do it in a kihon, where you kind of separate the motion out, and then the back foot's the platform for the ski. Or if you want to explore doing them really together, so it's a little bit more challenging. This comes in and then this comes out with it this way. Okay, so again, the platform for the hip needs to be in place. If I'm out with the feet, the ski's impossible to make. So I really need the back foot to be in place, where you're dragging it in this position. You need to press out with it this way. And play with it slowly. It doesn't have to be fast, but it just is one motion now. But again, you can pause after the strike and go to the ski, or you can draw them together. It's just a little bit more of a challenging position to do the combination from. Yeah, so one way where the breath work will help in this case is you can get away from I'll just explain. What you want to get away from is moves like this kind of thing. A lot of that comes from actually holding the breath and holding the posture and kind of bracing the structure. But the other sense comes from the idea that I'm kind of applying power now through the movement and then like now through the movement. But if you think about breath work timed with the body, and actually the whole out breath of the portion of the movement is actually powerful as well. So what you're looking to do is like graduate the power and the pressure through the movement. So play with it slow, but again, just tie the breath work into it. In which case it's going to be these kind of feelings. So you can slow the movement down. I feel that you can kind of start to gradually increase pressure through it, but the actual power of the movement is going to come all the way from the beginning, rather than the thing that I'm kind of landing weight and that's power, landing weight and that's power. Think about something that's a little bit more flexible in terms of power output. It graduates. Breathwork can really help to work with that, apart from areas that are kind of collapse. Also help with output, power output. So good. Great. And lastly, just mobilize the body a little bit with it, so you can explore a little bit kind of sideways motion. See if you can still find the ski with it, play with a little bit bigger rotations. and make each one a kind of finish at the ski, and then go to a new position. New position. Don't worry too much about the kind of 𝘱𝘰𝘦𝘴 now. You're just looking at the flexibly moving the body around. Sometimes, because the pattern you take with the feet, the bokken starts going 𝘱𝘰𝘦𝘴 kind of work. Don't worry too much about it. Through the space. Let that ski do kind of final, and then go to a new pattern. Nice. Perfect. Good. We will stop right there. Really good. Great. どうもありがとうございます。
どうもありがとうございました。
よき。